Hello everyone. Today I will be solving a math vertex problem, a word problem. And so our question is the height of the ball is thrown following the path of h equals negative 5t minus 3 squared plus 46.5. So that is our equation right here. And just by looking at the equation, we know that there are two variables, the h and the t. The h is representing the height in meters and the t is representing the time in seconds. There are five parts of this equation that we're going to be solved today, and let's get to it. So part A, it is asking us what is the maximum height of the ball. So by looking at the equation, we can tell that the maximum height is going to be 46.5. We also know this because if we take a regular equation, which is y equals ax plus k squared plus 4, plus h, um, this basically shows us that the h is subbed in as 46.5. So we know our max point is 46.5. We also know that the y coordinate of the vertex is also the max point. So the y coordinate in this case is h. So part B is asking us how long does it take the ball to reach its maximum height. So in this question, we know that we are going to solve for t. We are trying to find out the time. So if we do the same method that we have used in the previous question, which is taking our regular equation and then putting our questioned equation underneath it, we can figure out that the time that we need to know is going to be k. So the k is subbed in as negative 3. But since it is squared, the negative 3 will turn into a positive 3. So the signs will be opposite. So we know that the time it takes to reach the maximum height will be 3 seconds. Also, we know that the x-coordinate of the vertex form is the time that we will know of the max point. Heading to our next question, which is part C, the question is asking us what is the initial height of the ball when it was thrown. So, for this, we know that the initial height means the starting point. So, that means the t value, which is the time, has to be 0. Now, just by subbing in the t, we can figure out the value of h, and the h will be the height, which will be the initial height, sorry. So here I have solved the equation. So all I have done here is taken the our questioned equation and subbed t as 0 because there is no time when the ball is thrown. So what I've done here is when I subbed it in as 0, I multiplied it by 9 because 3 squared is 9, and then we get 45, but and then 46.5 is added into negative 45, which will give us negative 1 point, which will give us 1.5. So the initial height is 1.5 meters when the ball was thrown. Next, heading on to our D part, it is asking us how long was the ball in the air. So now in this question, it is asking us the time. So uh, we know that if it's asking us the time, the h value has to equal 0. Now, as we did in the previous question, we subbed in t as 0, but in this question, we will sub in h as 0. So as you can see, I have done over here, the h value has been subbed in as 0, and then the equation has been solved. So 46.5 will go to the other side and add with 0, and then it will be divided by negative 5, which is multiplying by t minus 3. Then the square, which is over here, goes to the other side um, and turns into a square root. Also, we need to remember that when we're taking this step, we have to write positive and negative because there are 2 points of the x coordinate. So as we get to the problem, we get 3.05 plus positive and negative equals to t minus 3. Now, before we take our next step, we know that we have to have two sides of the x. So negative 3 will go here, and we will go to the positive one first. So the positive one is 0.35 plus 3 equals t, which will give us 6.05, which equals t. Next, we will do the same thing, but for negative. For negative, we have negative 3.5 plus 3 equals t, which will give us the answer of negative 0.05 equals t. We always look at the positive question, so this means that the ball was in the air for 6.5 seconds, 6.05 seconds. Heading on to our last question or part is E. It is asking us what is the height of the ball at 1 second. So this means that in our previous questions we have taken h as 0, t as 0. So in this question it is asking us for the time. So we know that in this question it's asking us for the height, and the time is given to us, which is 1 second. So the time represents 1 second, and simply we will sub that in. Since we sub that in, which is over here, this was supposed to be the t value, which is now 1. And now we solve the equation, which will give us 26.5. So the height of the ball is 26.5 at 1 second. This is it, guys. That was the whole part answer to the whole word problem. And thank you for watching.